Guys, I just want to say this video will have no background music because I want y'all to fully focus and learn on what I'm actually doing. Look at the simple mistakes that I made while making the script. And yeah, I hope you really enjoy this video, alright? So let's get right into it. Alright guys, it's been a hot minute. It's been like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Your boy over here has been trying to find the official Matcha server. And guess who found it? I did. So now, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna code along with y'all, right? I'm gonna show you how to make a very simple Lumber Tycoon script. We're gonna make like the trees teleport or something. I don't know. We're gonna do something simple. So, how do you start off a script, right? So, what I'm gonna be saying a lot of so because I don't got no script, I'm not reading off anything. Basically, we're going to first find where the trees are stored in the game. Then we need to figure out how we're tied to that tree. How do we prove that we're the owner of the tree? Because I'm assuming the game gives network ownership to the person who owns the tree, correct? All right. So let's go ahead and break a tree, right? Let's go ahead and break a tree, and then we're going to figure out how we can tell if we have ownership of it. Oh, yeah. All right, since we chopped down this tree, bro, get off my screen. Since we chopped down this tree, right? Now it's in the workspace, right? Because everything you visually see right here, even my character, it has to be in workspace. So we, by default, know we need to go to workspace. So if we go to our workspace, let's see what happens. We have a couple things, so we're going to kind of look for what stands out. Um, so these are different regions. I'm hoping the trees aren't in the regions. It could be this, log models. I'm just going to click through it and see what happens. See if we find our tree at all. Oh, there we go. We found our tree. So now we know that our tree is in workspace.logmodels.loose generic, right? So what we can do with this information, I know I made the script editor pretty big. It's because I want y'all to freaking see what I'm typing and actually learn, right? So let me just scrunch this down a little bit, move it over, and we're gonna kind of like put it center of screen. I might make it a little bit bigger. I want to make sure y'all can read all this. So what I like to do is get my variables, get what I know I need. I know I need the log models folder, so we're gonna grab it real quick. All right, so now that we have the folder, what else do we need? Well, like I said, we need to figure out what ties us to this tree. So let's go ahead and look inside. Right here, we have an owner object value, last interaction, and we have the owner's string, which is just the name. Simple, right? So what we can do from this, we even have the class of the tree. So if we wanted to make a little drop down menu, be like, hey, I want a TP generic, or I want a TP, I don't know what trees are in this game, birch, you make a drop down event. There's also a cut event, which is a bindable, and I don't think external can access a bindable event, so we can't really do anything with that, unfortunately. Something you can do is still figure out on the tree where you want to cut it. Then in the game, you'll have your mouse, world to screen, and then you can have it click free. We don't care about that right now. But still, we figured out what we need to do, right? So let's go ahead and make a function. Return my trees, or something like that, It sounds like something out of the Lorax, but we're going to go ahead and make this. And we're going to make it return a table. And I always like to make functions for basically any small thing. Like sometimes I'll make functions first, like this. And you're wondering okay, I put my function name as teleport tree, but why am I putting a tree in there? I don't, there's no tree. I'm planning ahead, right? So once I do call this function, what do I want to get passed to it? I want the tree model to get passed to it, right? And I'm assuming that I already know what tree I want to TP based off of, my ownership of the tree, per se. So we can have different function. We can have function for checking, the tree class, checking the owner of it. Because what if the tree is owned by a different player, but they're whitelisting you? Then maybe you can TP their trees. So it's just simple things you got to think about ahead, like basically ahead in the future. So once we run this, right, we want to do like a for loop or something. And we want to loop through basically all the trees, right? So what this does, if you've never seen a for loop and you're still a little new to Lua, what this does is it takes the log models folder. What the fuck am I sounding like, twin? Sorry. It takes the log models folder and it basically loops through everything. And what does that mean? It means it goes, from here, there, all the way to the bottom. It loops through it all. And it's not going to hit, what's inside of the models. It's just going to hit the models. And why is this a good thing? Because the models have our owner value in them. But honestly, I might do the owner string value. Just in case owner.value is nil. And I know owner string is still going to be there. So we're going to check for ownership of it, right? So tree.owner string.value. And what this basically allows us to do, right? So obviously, top of the script, we need our player. Simple as that. So what are we doing now? We're going to see if we own the tree. Simple if statement, right? A condition. If ownership, which we already said dot value here, so I guess we don't have to say it, equals our player.name. So right here, we're comparing two strings. We're saying if the string of the ownership right here is equal to our name, then we own it, right? So obviously this should be done in our function. I don't know why I'm doing it outside. I should have realized that a while ago that I was doing it outside my function. Sorry. So we're going to do it in our function, of course. But basically, if we know we own the tree, then we're going to, insert it into our trees table. And obviously you can have stuff such as, the class type, and then you can check if that tree is the class type. So for example, if we pass class type, we're going to check if we own it, then we're going to check the class type because we don't care about the class type until we own it. So I'm going to check tree class dot value equal the class type. Just remember, double equal means you're comparing two things. So right here, I mean, this is basically good. We're checking if we own it. We're checking the class type, right? So we can do like my trees, and then we can do return my trees with what was the class type? Generic. Yeah, it is generic. Boom. Which will return all our generic trees, right? You could also have it check, if the class type is equal to like all, then you can just TP all the trees. As in class type, I don't mean the actual tree here. I mean whatever we sent. Anyways, what do we do now? Well, since we already have our trees returned to us in a table, we can now loop through these trees, right? So for tree and my trees do. Now, what does this do? So the tables that we're getting, or the table that we are getting back, has all of our tree models in it, right? It has all these models that we own, right? Which I don't even know where my tree is anymore. I might have lost ownership. Let's touch that thing again. It don't matter where our tree is right now. What am I doing? All right, so basically it'll return our trees to us into a table. So all we gotta do now is call teleport tree, right? So we're just gonna do teleport tree with our tree. You can do, you know, a little bit more checking. You can do whatever you want in this. It don't matter. So now that we know we want to teleport our tree, I don't know, or what do I do? Branch? I'll call it branches. I don't know, I'm getting spam pinged. They needs to chill. Anyways, so now we know what we need to do. We just call branch dot position equals, you know, whatever we want, right? we can literally call whatever position we want. So I'm just gonna call it in position. And we'll have our in position at the top here into a vector 3, which is a 3D space position. And I'm gonna go ahead and figure out what position the cell zone is, right? You can just speed up this part a little bit, but I'm just gonna go over here and show you the whole process of getting a position real quick. So let's say I wanted to get a position right here. We just open a new script here. Let's do it from our head position. Boom. And now we know our end position down there. Oh, why? I'm trying to delete them. Thank you. So instead of doing the decimals exactly, we're just gonna skip the decimals. And we're also gonna increase the y-axis that it spawns at, because we want it to spawn higher instead of lower. Because if it spawns in the ground or it spawns in the wall, that's not gonna be very, very fun, you know? Gonna have to mess around with our position, blah blah blah. But right here we have our tree, right? We can pick it up, we can tap on it, perfect. So now we have our script here with our in position, our teleport tree, and all that. So let me go ahead and like close this a little bit, and we're just gonna call it execute, and we're gonna see what happens. We're even gonna look over near the cell zone, right? We're gonna look at what happens. Attempt to index nil with owner string line 9. So what we're gonna go ahead and do, since we do have this error, is just go ahead and find owner, right? And what we can do from this is just do owner.value down there. And this should basically fix it. So we're gonna say owner and this, just to check if it is valid. But basically you just saw our tree jitter like that, which means it is attempting the TP. We can jump through it, and it's attempting the TP basically. So boom, it's attempted, and boom, it finally TP'd. There we go. So why did it jitter? Why didn't it insta TP? You have all these questions. Or maybe you didn't, and you're just like, wow, it TP'd. But the reason it doesn't instantly teleport is because there's something called physics, right? Roblox physics. Yes, we love physics. And these physics basically say that, because these parts are welded together, keep in mind, that if even this little piece right here says like, hey, why is the whole tree over here but I'm still over here, you know, it's gonna be like, wait, and then it's gonna TP us back. So to properly TP a tree with a internal cheat, you would anchor this, you would anchor the tree, TP it, then unanchor it. But since you can't do that with external, you just have to trial error, keep updating position of it until it TPs. It will eventually teleport. Will it teleport good? Will it teleport all the time? No. But it will teleport eventually. So this is how you make a simple Lumber Tycoon teleport script, right? I hope y'all learned a lot. you know, if you want to see more videos like this with externals, just drop the game name, drop the game name. I need some games that people actually want to see. I keep making scripts for games that people don't want to see. All right? So tell me what you want to see, and I'll make the script for it. And like, give some suggestions with the game. Be like, hey, this would be cool if we got like an ESP toggle on let's say like gold trees. I got an ESP toggle on this, or I want an auto farm for this. I want a little GUI on my screen that does this. Simple stuff like it's not simple for most people, but it's stuff that you can like actually learn from, right? So just suggest a game and just give something that you actually want to learn, because then I bet you most people want to learn the same exact thing as you. They all want to learn, like, how does this work? Why am I scripting this way? you know and I'll explain it all as the best as I can. All right, so if you want to follow me on this journey and you want to learn some scripting too, then hit that subscribe button. And please drop that massive, big, fat like button, please. Because you know what that means? If you drop a like, more people will realize that they're skids and they'll convert into a script maker. And then there'll be so many good scripts out there, So many good script makers. And that could be one of you. So let's get it. We're on this journey together. All right. See y'all. Have a good one. Peace.